Good afternoon. I know I am 15 minutes late, and shame on me for being late. When you get in the middle of a project, sometimes you don't even realize how fast the day's already gone. And now we're quarter after 1 in the afternoon, and I just blinked, and it was like 10:30 in the middle of this project that I'm working on. So, welcome. My name is Deryk Faber. I'm the Director of Education for Scarlet Arrow Credit Repair. Today I wanted to, it's not really a scheduled, like I had a series that we had just done in the last 5 weeks, and we went over what the FICO score is, what makes it up. It was more of an effort just to let you know how credit works, how your normal decisions that you make throughout your day and life all affect each other and all affect how your credit score is made. So now that we've kind of got that baseline going, we're going to today talk a little bit more about where do we start, because a lot of times uh, the the biggest fear that we have is the unknown, and in addressing where to start, it makes it a little bit easier, a little bit less scary. So when you know that you have bad credit or no credit, or you're uncertain about your credit, like most people in America are, you just don't even know what is on your reports. You don't know where to start, and you don't know how to get there. So the first thing I would say is figure out where you are and do a lot of self-reflection. Know who you are, know some spending habits that you have, and more importantly, put yourself in position to succeed. So I was talking with a family friend who's getting married, and she kept giving me this weird look, and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Well, aren't you gonna ask me why I'm not talking to you about my credit?" And I was like, "No." Because I'm not going to be your motivational speaker that's going to drag you across the finish line. I want to be that person to help encourage you. I want to help drive you and give you a plan, give you a map, a roadmap to get there. But I'm not going to make people do things, because then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. So she was like, "Well, I don't talk to me about credit cards because they're just not for me. I'd go out, I'd max them out." And I was like, "You know what? I'm excited to hear you say that, because 99% of the time, you don't realize that you can't handle a credit card until it's too late to handle that credit card. And now your utilization's way too high. Your score's in the crapper." And so I was like, "Well, then let's get you in a program when you're ready to put you in position to win." And what I mean by that is that doesn't mean you can't ever have a credit card if you know you're going to max it out. Just don't bring it with you. Don't put the numbers in your phone or attach it to any accounts. Maybe all you do is you get a credit card and you set it up with a utility so that automatically pays that utility you're paying anyway. My goal with all new clients isn't to create a bunch of new bills, because let's just face it, especially today and in the last couple of years, with inflation and the way the economy's going, we don't always know what 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 tomorrow or next month's bills are going to be like. So we want to make sure that we're being smart with everything and minimizing that stuff. So having said that, now one of the first exercises that I give my clients is I want you to look at the last 30 days of spending that you've had. Now, don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. And I'm not telling you to change what you're doing, but be aware. I remember when I got out of high school and I was going into college, I was working at Target at 4 a.m., unloading the truck and stocking shelves. That way, by 10 o'clock, I was done, clocked out, had classes around 11, didn't get out of class till 4. And that was Monday through Friday and some weekends. And so I knew that if I worked, I'd get some money in. And I knew, being a broke college student, that I had loans, I had grants, I had all these different other once a semester ways of getting some money. But I didn't really think of a budget because I was in school and I didn't want to focus on it. I just knew that if I spent less than what I actually brought in, then I wouldn't ever be hurting. And I found, the more that I've talked to people and helped people, that not everybody does a budget. And that's fine if that's what works for you, but you got to really understand where your money's going. So if you say I can't afford something, are you saying that as an easy, quick answer to why you can't get something? Or do you know whether you can or can't afford it? And that's why the first step that I tell people to do is go through the last 30 to 60 days of your bank statement and of your credit card or debit card or whatever means of use to spend money you're using, and just look and see where your money's going. I've made a spreadsheet or a worksheet that is a handout for my clients. But in reality, if you don't want to print something up or handwrite it because it takes too long, go to your bank, download it, and print it. Then get 3 to 5 different highlighters and highlight them. And the reason I say different colors is because you need to maybe in your mind figure out the categories, figure out, the essentials, your rent, your car payment, your insurances, are your utilities, and then go in and have a different color for any foods that you may have. Maybe do just groceries and then a separate color for every time you eat out, and maybe have a color for when you buy a drink, maybe at Starbucks, or if you or if you go to the bar with your friends. And again, this isn't to beat yourself up. This is really the intent of this is for you to see where your money's going. So as you're seeing it and you're doing all these exercises and you're seeing where your money's going, $5 a day, to kind of steal from a friend of mine when he's does it a lot with investments. He says, "Can you afford $5 a day when it comes to investments?" And people are like, "Well, yeah, I can do that." And then he says, "Well, at the $150 a month," and all of a sudden everyone's like, "Pump the brakes! $150 a month? What are you talking about?" $5 a day, 30 days on the average month is $150 a month. So when you actually do the math and you're like, "I can't afford an extra $150 a month," break it down by the day. Where in your daily spending are you spending $5 almost every single day? Or are you spending $35 a week? Because again, 5 times 7. Where are you spending your money that you can make that decision? And the biggest challenge that I have for clients is I'm not going to tell you what to do. You have to voluntarily make that decision. I'm going to help you look at the goal. If you want to buy a house, if you want to buy a car, if you just want to get it cleaned up for a certain reason for your family, then put a picture on the bathroom mirror of that house that you want. Put a picture on the fridge of the house that you want. Look at it throughout the day so that you start to burn that mental image into yourself. And every time you go to spend money, you start to think, is this decision getting me closer to my goal? Again, don't tear yourself down. There's enough negativity in this world that you don't need to do it to yourself. And um, give yourself like a timeline where when you reach a certain step and you get to this, you reward yourself, allow yourself to have it can be just super strict and horrible the entire way you're going to quit. I think next week we're going to kind of go along this and figure out different ways where we can build yourself up. Maybe talk about different kinds of accounts that there are that you can open to start building your credit. But I really wanted to spend this morning or this afternoon. See, I don't even know what time it is right now. I really wanted to spend this afternoon with a quick 5 to 10 minute talk just about the first steps in credit repair. And those first steps are knowing who you are, knowing how you spend your money, and just seeing where your money goes. So do some self-reflection, know what kind of person you are, and start setting yourself up to succeed and not to fail. Don't make these huge dreams seem like they're so far out there. Set up some of the smaller ones along the way that you can celebrate. If you're like my friend who can't handle the card, that doesn't mean you don't get one. That just means you don't take it with you and you don't use it. You set yourself up to succeed because you know that if you had that card, it would be horrible to your credit. You'd swipe it on everything and you'd be way over your head. But if you recognize that, don't put it in your wallet, don't save it to your phone, don't keep that account number with you. You only have it set up for your utilities or your cell phone or one of your regular monthly bills that you're paying anyway. And you're using credit now to build on itself and to set yourself up for success, which is what we all want you to do. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type them now. If not, I understand. This is kind of an impromptu. I didn't really announce it. I'm trying to keep my Mondays at 1 free for you guys so that I'll go live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, all at the same time. If you've got questions, send me emails, send me texts. My cell phone number is 316-214-8554. You can email me, Deryk at scarletarrow.com, or private message me on any of those sites, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. They'll go to my phone, so I'll be happy to help you with that. All this advice I'm giving, guys, is free. And it's not really advice. It's just empowering you to make better decisions to better your future. That's what I really want you to do. You have the power to make these changes yourself. Your financial future is in your hands, not anyone else's. And that starts with you understanding who you are and creating that foundation that you need. So God loves you guys. So do I. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday.